Hey friends, Sam Haymart for Test Driven TV. It's September 14th and Motoring Monday is on. Today I've got a wide array of cars for you, starting with the 2016 Toyota Prius to the Royce Dawn, a new luxury convertible, and somewhere in between falls the new 2016 Lexus RX450h Hybrid. And is the LAPD really adding BMW to their fleet? All that in our test drives. It's coming right up. If you've been anxiously awaiting the arrival of the 2016 Toyota Prius, well, your day's finally come, as last week Toyota unveiled it at a huge event up in Las Vegas. The all-new Prius comes on the heels of nearly 20 years of being the #1 go-to hybrid car. Like the Ford Mustang, it's instantly recognizable around the world, and the all-new design of the 2016 Toyota Prius is likely to continue this iconic status. Styling is more daring than ever. There's more angles, more creases, and some quite bold origami shapes going on. LED headlamps are now standard up front, and at the rear are some wildly conceived LED tail lamps which will give the Prius an unmistakable new signature at night. The silhouette is familiar, though stretched out about 2.5 inches. It's taller by almost an inch and about a ½ inch wider. The trademark hump on the roof moves forward just a bit, making its unique shape even more dramatic. This extra size, Toyota says, all goes into the passenger space. The 2016 Prius is the first car to be built on Toyota's new global architecture, which brings a taller beltline and a stronger passenger structure. This, along with the new Toyota Safety Sense features, should make it the safest Prius ever. The dash retains the center-mounted instruments and displays Prius owners are used to, but the rest of the design is entirely new. A more pronounced center pod has the joystick-like drive gear selector, and a new console layout has a dedicated smartphone space. The top trim grade here shows polished white plastic and black Softex trims with blue stitching. And in addition to expanded infotainment features, the new Prius will also be available with the latest driver assistance technologies. The big news for Prius is a 10% increase in fuel efficiency, which should be about 55 mpg city. This comes by way of smaller hybrid components, a more power-dense battery, and a more efficient engine. And they say an even thriftier eco version will come later. The last piece of the puzzle for the 2016 Toyota Prius is a more sophisticated suspension and chassis, afforded by that new architecture. This has a new multi-link rear suspension that Toyota says will make it more fun to drive than ever. So basically, if you already love the Prius, there's going to be more to love, and if you already hated it and everything it stands for, there's going to be more to hate. This week Rolls-Royce unveiled their new Dawn, a car that carries on the spirit and ecstasy of the Phantom drophead coupe. An all-new convertible called Dawn will take its place as the new icon of the brand's open-air luxury, effortless performance, and richness of bespoke craftsmanship. It's a design which comes in lighter and smaller than the Phantom, yet rolls just as large. Some 12 inches shorter, lower to the ground, and sporting a shorter wheelbase, the Dawn weighs about 200 pounds less than the Phantom drophead coupe. And with its 563 horsepower, 6.6-liter twin-turbocharged V12, promises more speed. Rolls-Royce says it will accelerate from 0 to 60 in about 4.8 seconds, but honestly friends, all this talk of horsepower and performance is ungentlemanly. The new Rolls-Royce Dawn is about the art of motoring, the substance of style, and as they tell us, social motoring. The new Dawn, the company says, was designed for a younger and more social customer. This would be the new generation of well-moneyed motorists who also happen to be steeped in the ways of modern social trends. Whatever that means, with the artfully conceived lines and curves that bring traditional Rolls-Royce design themes and some new shapes and details, it's hard to imagine them having a hard time finding buyers for it, regardless of whom they are. The exterior of the launch car you see here mimics the rich and contrasting colors of the Dawn. It starts with a lustrous sapphire exterior along with a dramatic interior. Here, acres of mirrored open-pore woods artfully wrap and form alongside bright mandarin leather hides. Aside of power and performance, you'll note I didn't catalog a long list of features and creature comforts. Suffice it to say, friends, if you've heard of it, the Rolls-Royce Dawn has it, and then some you haven't even heard of yet. Pricing? Well, you know what they say, if you have to ask. Truth be told, they haven't really even announced that yet, but chances are, if you're a buyer for this car, you and your dealership have already been discussing it. So we've got the extremes here, the penny-pinching Prius and the arguably rich Royce Dawn. Our next car is somewhere in between. You might not know it, but the Lexus RX is the brand's top-selling model, and for 2016 they fortified it with more style, more power, and more efficiency. Looking specifically at the top of the line 2016 Lexus RX450h Hybrid, it gets a lot more appeal this year, the most powerful and the most fuel-efficient version of the RX you can get. And this year it gets more of everything. Performance is up, now with 308 combined system horsepower between its 3.5-liter gas V6 and the electric motors. And finally, the F-Sport Performance package is now available with the hybrid. But first, the styling has gotten a complete makeover that takes the RX450h from what might have been a somewhat bland and homely looking vehicle in the showroom, a wallflower, to something you cannot ignore. The front end gets a sharp and angular new variation of the brand's spindle grille. LED lighting is found everywhere, from the headlamps and fog lights to the equally striking new tail lamps out back. And a look down the side shows new creases and curves that all point your eye to that new floating roof. An all-new interior is much improved over the current RX in design. Vibrant leather trims and a wide variety of new wood veneers are available that richen up the look and feel substantially. And an array of new infotainment technology is here too, but luckily, the trademark Lexus control puck that we love still remains. The chassis is enhanced across the board, but particularly with the F-Sport, which has an adaptive variable suspension. This can automatically adjust stiffness and response on the fly and can be adjusted with the console drive mode selector. Add the new Lexus Safety System Plus to the new styling, powertrain enhancements, and options, well, RX fans are going to have a lot to look at next time they come to Lexus showrooms. Its arrival there is expected very soon. Fuel economy and pricing numbers haven't yet been announced by Lexus for the 2016 RX450h, but we can expect them to be higher on both counts. Count on it. In our test drives this week, we drove the Scion FRS for 2016, an old friend in a car we've test driven many times, but this one, it was a little bit different. Our 2016 FRS was equipped with a 6-speed automatic transmission. This makes it a much different animal in day-to-day driving than the manual shifting FRS. In fact, while I don't usually prefer autos in a sports car, this one I think makes the FRS more enjoyable as a daily driver. This is because it not only works exceptionally well, but will shift the noisy and harsh 2-liter boxer engine at a lot lower RPM than you might with the manual. Thus, you don't hear as much racket from the thing. Additionally, our tester had the loud and resonant tone of the optional TRD exhaust system, which made the whole thing sound a lot better. It's an expensive piece, but well worth it, I think, to make this car more enjoyable to the ears. And with handling that's world class, a great interior with some downright stellar seats, and an overall simplicity that's a standout in today's market of techno-crazed cars, I just really enjoyed the week with it. For our full review on the 2016 Scion FRS, click on the link down below in the information section, or log on to our website, testdriven.tv. In our reality check segment this week, word on the street is that the LAPD is adding BMW to their fleet. And I'm not talking about motorcycles. BMW has announced they'll be loaning the Los Angeles Police Department a new BMW i3 electric vehicle for a year to test in various ways on the streets of their fine city. Sporting the famous LAPD black and white livery and outfitted with a bright LED light bar, the BMW i3 Cruiser will see some real-world duty, but for the most part will be a PR toy sent to high-profile public events. So when you go to the LA Marathon, Cinco de Mayo at Alvera Street, or even the Los Angeles International Auto Show, you're likely to see the BMW i3 on site, showing you how green and conscious the city really is. And honestly, while it might seem almost laughable a $50,000 electric car with half the range of a Ford Explorer Cruiser might actually be practical, its tight turning circle and inexpensive fuel likely make it well suited for downtown duty. The test program only lasts a year, and the costs of which are not all borne by the taxpayers, so don't worry, the LAPD isn't squandering money. At least not on this. Would it be bad of me to suggest that this thing looks perfect for the meter maid? I mean, it looks the part. Now it's time for our money shot, where we take the hottest photo from this week's auto news and we show it to you. Making its official debut this week at the Frankfurt International Auto Show is the Nissan Gripz Concept. The vehicle is believed to show us what the replacement for the Nissan Juke might look like. Can't wait to see the whole thing. Well folks, that's it for our show today, but let me share that the Frankfurt International Auto Show starts tomorrow, and this week we're going to be covering all the hot cars that are going to be unveiled there. You can click on the link right here and subscribe to our YouTube channel, where I'll keep you updated on all of that, plus everything else we do. We test drive one, sometimes two cars every single week, plus we have a new video almost every single day, so there's always something new. You can also follow us on the Google, Twitter, and that Facebook by clicking on the links down below or up on our website if you happen to be there. That's testdriven.tv. I'm Sam Haymart for Test Driven TV. I hope you enjoyed the ride.